Hi Dipti, please introduce yourself.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Sir, I'm myself Dipti Singh, and I'm from Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. And currently, I'm working as a senior systems engineer at Infosys.
Okay, so in which attempt you got recommended and where, when?
Sir, this was my sixth attempt, and again, this was my sixth conference as well. And I got recommended from 24 SSB Bangalore, SSC Tech-32 entry.
Nice. Can you please give a brief background history of your previous attempts? Like what went wrong in those, or where all did you give these attempts?
Sir, continuously, I had been conference out in my last five attempts. So, my very first attempt was in 2020. I gave it for Indian Navy in Bangalore itself. So my journey started from Bangalore only, and then my second attempt was again Air Force, that is AFSP Varanasi. Again, I got conference out. Third was again Bangalore. It was again for Navy, so I got conference out from there as well. Fourth was Air Force, again 4FSG Varanasi, conference out. Fifth was Bhopal, and now the sixth attempt was again in Bangalore only, where I got recommended.
Nice here. So you've been roaming around Bangalore and Varanasi quite a few times. Bhopal once
Yes,
and back to Bangalore.
at
Nice.
Bangalore.
So how was this entire journey? Do you think it was worth investing all that time? Did you learn some things out of them? Forget the recommendation attempt, but from your failures, did you learn something? Was it helpful?
Yes, sir. Like really, like as I mentioned that I started my journey from 2020, and before that, I started my preparation. So from 2020 and getting recommended in 2023, it's been a long journey for me. So every time I used to get conference out, I used to like learn something from my mistakes. Every time I used to point out, like when you get conference out, you get to know that what mistakes you had done, and that can be the reason that you got conference out. So every single attempt had taught me something or the other that where I'm lacking. And finally, working on this whole, I was able to land up here.
Okay.
No.
Overall, in those five attempts, what do you think was lacking? Which weaknesses did you recognize, and how did you overcome them? What improved in you in your sixth attempt?
So, sir, from my starting journey, as I mentioned, like from first attempt, it was so being a fresher, I was not that well trained. I just preferred some YouTube videos and like went through some books. So I didn't took any coaching. Whatever I taken guidance from my seniors as well as from you. So in my first attempt, I was not well prepared. After that, I felt like slowly, I felt like that somewhere, you cannot be constant throughout. Like I'm a working professional as well. So it's not possible for me to just keep on doing preparation continuously. So sometimes it happens that when I used to go to SSB, the preparation was not up to mark. And especially like the main thing which I worked on and that really helped me in my recommendation was that one of my weakness that I'm a person that even when I'm speaking, I go very fast. So I'm very a person that keeps doing things very fastly. So I really worked on it, and that I really improved this time. I kept myself like calm, composed, and I approached things very calmly, and that really worked for me in this time. That helped me in my recommendation. That was the main thing that I had improved in myself.
Correct. So a clear message to all the aspirants watching this is to improve upon yourself. Every mistake teaches you something. So when you get screened out or when you get conferenced out, it's a good opportunity to look back and recognize your weaknesses, start working upon them. Whether or not you get recommended in the next attempt, that is secondary, but it's a self improvement journey. Your personality improves, you recognize your own weaknesses, which will help you in life otherwise also, if not for defense
Yes.
service. And
Ah,
obviously, it will definitely give you an advantage in your next attempt.
yes.
So, talk about your attempt in which you got recommended. Like, what happened in those 5 days? How was this SSB overall?
As I mentioned, it was my sixth attempt that took place in May only, this May. So it so happened that I got screened in, and after that, the journey started like from second day onwards. So my psych went well. It was normal. I didn't hype anything. It was too normal. The way I prepared, I used to refer your videos. I went through other things. I kept practicing. Like for psych, mainly I practiced. And but the main thing I did in psych was that I tried to connect every like story that SRT with my real life, especially the PIQ days. Whatever I had done in my life, whatever I had mentioned in the PIQ, I made stories around that only. So that really helped me. I wrote very simple story. It's not like I did hyper-epic. The SDT was well prepared for me. So I like the site was something that I did within time limits. There was nothing. SRT also went well. There was nothing like that. I attempted very less at SRT. So because of the practice, I was able to do everything on time. So site went well. It was normal. Then comes GPO. So GPO, it started from third day onwards. So in GPO, well, this time I was prepared with current affairs. So it helped me in group discussion as well, in lecture as well. And then in all the group tasks, I'm a person that follows an approach of very cooperative with the team. So I follow that approach. I do have good ideas because I've been practicing for long, and it comes with practice. So I was able to contribute in the team actively. I was able to give chance to other people as well. It's not like I was the one who was just leading all the time. If there were some other people who were getting idea, I'm giving them opportunity to apply that as well. So even ground task also went well, and command task was something that we didn't like. The GTO didn't offered like didn't put so much of pressure on me because I felt like that as I was actively giving ideas in all the bits PGT and GT. So the command task also, though it was quite tough for me, but still it also went smoothly. And like overall GTO also went well. And when it comes to interviews, so there's interesting thing that happened to me for the very first time in all these conferences, like in all these SSBs, that for the very first time I had my interview at night. Like I was
Okay.
the last person, so it was not expected that my interview was going to take place. Like it was scheduled at 4:30, and it got shifted, and it reached to like my interview started at 8:30 or 35, and it went all till night at till 10 p.m. So I was the last person that day. So we both like I was also exhausted, the interview was also exhausted. But then it went so smooth. All the questions he put, I was able to answer very smoothly. And the main thing I would like to mention here that in interview it's like if you're not able to answer anything or if it's something that you feel like that okay I hadn't done this way or yeah, so you need to be confident. And the approach I followed was I was very confident throughout my interview. Okay, if I was not able to answer some questions, I was like, sorry, sir, I don't know, but I let myself equip with this. So I followed that. I didn't bluff in front of him. So whatever I told him, whatever I gave answers, whichever answers I gave, I was very loyal towards, like very honest towards my answers. And again, uh, everything was in sync with my PIQ. Whatever I was speaking, he was able to see that yeah, it was syncing with my PIQ. So that interview also went well. And on the day of conference, it's like that I thought I was not well, like I was not like okay, I might get recommended because after five, you never predict that what is going to take place this time again if you have to go back to home. So then in my conference, it went so smoothly. They didn't put anything in front of me. So I was quite disappointed that I felt like at least I would have been a doubtful case. They just simply asked 2 to 3 questions in the conference. I was so confused when I went out from a conference room. Like my friends were asking what he asked. I don't know more than me. My friends were like the batchmates of mine were confident. Like you will get recommended. I was like he didn't ask me. Like they didn't ask me anything in the conference. So how can I predict? Even at least they would have spent some 10 to 15 minutes on me. Then I would have thought, like, okay, even if I'm getting confidence out, for sure I'm a doubtful case, but not. So then I got the results, like when the result was announced. So in repeaters batch, we were only 3 people who got recommended. So it was completely surprising for me. It was awestruck moment for me because after continuously 5 attempts, we got confidence out in the sixth attempt to get the result right. So it was a very big moment for me.
Like,
This is how it went.
speak a little more on it. Like, how was the feeling when your chess number was called? What went through your head? What was your reaction for the next 5 minutes? What did you do later in that day?
Okay, so somewhere you always have a hope, right? So somewhere there was a hope that might be. The time he announced, okay, I had my chess number 25. So chess number 25. That time I just picked my luggage and moved aside. We have to move aside. The time I went, no, the other side. No, when he announced, so we have to take our name or our date of birth, something I remember.
Hmm.
So I So that very confidently and in a very loud pace. Then there I was like, okay, the time I moved aside, I moved on the other side. I stood there. I started crying so badly because this is the moment, like every aspirant that your chest number should be called. I realized that when I stood there. So I started crying badly. I was like, okay, something, and the only thing that was there in my mouth was that it was a very long journey for me. 2020 to 23, like okay, continuous attempts, continuously getting confidence out. So I cried a lot, full. And there was one more friend of mine. Luckily, she met 1 year back to me in the same boat. So she also got recommended with me. And out of these 10 people in our group, we two were the one who got recommended. So we both hugged each other and we cried a lot. And seeing us, other aspirants started crying. It was very like a very special moment for me. So yeah.
That's a moment. Like these are the best moments of our lives, which we will always remember. Very happy
Yes.
for you. Uh, what do you think about my mentorship program, or why should anyone follow me, or why should they take this initiative seriously? Like, what is your overall opinion about my mentorship program?
So in this attempt only, I referred to like you had started some months back only. So before before this attempt, I went through your videos. I also had been an active participant in your this sessions which you keep conducting, like the group discussion, PPDT sessions. Along with it, I also had gone through your interview videos, your site videos. So that is really it. It gave me an exposure, right? It gave me more clarity, though I was already well aware, but it gave me more clarity about certain things. So I learned a lot from you. And when it comes to your mentorship program, I really appreciate that you had taken such an initiative. And I would like to tell all the aspirants who are going to see this video that for sure they should take guidance from you, because this is the opportunity that you don't get, because you just have to lose your pockets all around. And nowadays people are just been wandering around in the opportunity that where we can get the right path, where we can get the right path. And for sure, not all the academies and all the coachings are giving you. But here, if you're getting like you being a serving person, you know well how courses work, and you know the like whole procedure. So you know well. You definitely for sure you explain it in a well proper manner. And the best thing I like about SSB Bro is that you provide personal guidance to each individual. That is something you focus on every single person. Like if the aspirant is ready to contribute, if the aspirant is ready to put dedication, you put your 100% with him. So that is something I like very much. So I would like to suggest everyone for sure he or she should take guidance from you. That is something really going to help them.
Thank you, Ar. Thank you very much. I feel so happy listening to these words. So, okay, let's leave this aside. Talk about your medicals. Like, what happened in those few days, and were you fit, or did you get any TRs?
No, sir. So I'm medically fit. So I got my medicals postponed because I had doubt that might be possible something like some blood issue or something, hemoglobin, or because we girls have that. So I got it postponed. Then I went back after 14 days. So it all started that we had a test each passing day. Though I don't have leave, but still I had to stay there for a complete week, more than a week. I will say. So every single day we used to have a test like the ENT checkup, then teeth, then eyes, and then gyno, everything surgical. So I was quite confident about everything. Only few things I was like doubtful. Okay, might be possible because there was a point I felt like okay, might be possible that I have some issue in my leg. Like I was doubtful. I from starting onwards when I started preparing, I was doubtful that might be possible that I have knock knees. Though I'm an athlete, but still I felt like I don't know how the procedure is. So when I got it checked, the surgical doctor who was doing the surgery. He stopped me. He didn't like all the other girls were there. He made them go out and he stopped me and he checked thoroughly my legs. So I was very worried for the only that thing. It was second last day, I believe. So I came back. I talked to the NCO who was there with us, and I asked him, "So please, can you please check? What will come and tell me if I'm unfit, if he has declared that I have knock knees or something." So I had my face like this, so small. I was so sad. The NCO was also like he was just sympathizing. We don't worry. Even if you have, it's a TR, it will get mended. If you'll do exercise, you'll do this, that, it'll get improved. But still, you have now that after a long journey I'd been here, you don't want to be medically unfit. So finally, in the evening, he came up with the report, and he just called me and said, "Stupid, you don't have anything. Your surgery, he has declared you fit." So I was so happy. After that, I was so confident that okay, there's nothing that is going to stop me from being medically fit. So finally, the results are like, last year I came to know that in every single sheet I was declared fit, fit, fit. So that okay, I'm done with the whole procedure now.
Great. So you have crossed all the hurdles and just the final merit is to come out now. Uh, Dipti, you've been one candidate who has never been screened out. So what has worked well for you? What do you want to say to the aspirants seeing this about screening in? What should they follow to get screened in every time?
So when it comes to screening, it works different for different people. For me, I'll share that what had worked for me, that the very first thing is that fluency in English has really worked to me, like in PPDT. If you are fluent, it always adds a plus point to you in terms of PPDT, because you'll be able to speak well, you'll be able to narrate well, along with it, you'll be able to participate well in GD as well. So that is something that needs to be there. Second thing, when it comes to picture. So what I had done, my personal approach is that mm, I had practiced the stories well. So that has helped me to I never take much time in writing the stories. The time I see the pictures, the stories just hit in my mind that okay, this can be. I just analyze the picture very properly. So that helped me to connect, and that helped me to make the story instantly rather than taking so much of time. So if you'll start taking so much of time, or if you'll put so much of thoughts in your mind, that if you'll get confused at any point, if you'll get confused between 2 to 3 stories, then you'll end up doing bad. You have to be clear from your mind that which story you have to make, and the time you see the picture, just analyze that and start writing. That has helped me a lot. Especially, I would like to suggest that do practice for PPD. It's not like it's not important. For sure, for PPD, it's very important that you should always be prepared. That whatever the picture comes, whatever the theme is like, you should be prepared that this story can be, yeah, this can be the story which will get fit in this. So this has really worked for me. And of course, after writing story, I used to practice so many times. Whatever time we used to get. In some boards we get some time, in some boards we don't get time. We just instantly have to go inside the room. So whatever time I used to get, I just keep used to revise it in my mind. I keep revising, keep revising. That really used to help while narrating the story. And even when you are in group discussion, it should not be like that we are just speaking your story or something. There is a way of presentation when you're presenting. So be confident in that when you're presenting a story. Along with it, be a little fast, not that much fast, but be a little fast so that you'll be able to complete your story. And along with it, focus on every single person who is there in the room, who is doing the discussion. You have to consider every single person. When you listen to every single person's story, you'll be able to give proper points in group discussion. So this way, this has helped me. This approach has helped me a lot. I never got screened out because of this.
Nice, nice. So what about stage two? What are your suggestions for people who are getting screened in most of the times but unable to get recommended, continuously getting conferenced out? What are your suggestions to them? Your personal tips?
So my personal tips are, what I believe is that okay, psych is fine. I don't think that we are defense aspirants. So most of us, we don't have destructive mindset. So psych is important. For no doubt, it is one of the most important tests. But I think that we all have that proper mindset. So we are not destructive. We don't possess destructive mindset. What you have to primarily focus on is interview. If you'll win the interview, you'll win the game. It's my personal experience that if you perform very well in interview, no one is going to stop you from getting recommended. And again, for psych, if I'll talk, so again, the practice helped me a lot. For GTO also, it comes with experience. If you are well aware about the current happenings, you can win the game in GTO as well. There's nothing tough in GTO. The most important part is interview. You have to be well prepared in interview. You just have to go through each and every single thing which you have mentioned in your PIQ. You don't have to bluff at any point. Whatever you have mentioned, you have to be clear with that. You should create so many different questions in your own mind, that if he is going to start from this point, then what probable questions is going to place or going to throw in front of you. So you should be well prepared with all the permutations and combinations which he is going to apply. So if you prepare well your PIQ, that is the only thing. He is not going to ask you anything outside from that. People do say that he asks technical questions, current affairs. He do so, but the main thing is primary thing. What they look is that how much you are well about yourself. That is the most important thing. That's fine if you're not able to answer some of the technical questions, some of the current affairs. That's fine. It's not like you're completely blank and everything. But then they do provide like, okay, fine, if you're not able to answer technical questions, some core technical questions, some current affairs, that's fine. But if you're not able to answer questions related to yourself, then that is something that is always going to be a hurdle. So you have to be clear about yourself. Each and every single thing which you're mentioning, your PIQ, that you should be clear with that. So this is something I would like to suggest in terms of interview.
Exactly. So the overall idea is be self-aware, know everything about yourself. Whatever you are
Yes.
writing in your PIQ, go through it multiple times and be ready for any type of questions related to your PIQ. Practice them beforehand and be confident during the interview. And don't bluff.
Yes, don't bluff, never. Because if they'll catch this, this is a question on an integrity, and then they are never going to take you.
So happy to hear from you here. All the best for your merit list, and hopefully I'll see you in OTA soon and later in service. We'll meet sometime. And you're from Hyderabad and roaming around Chennai, Bangalore. So I'm from that place only. So we can meet sometime. Best of luck to you. It was very nice interacting with you today. Anything else you want to add? Anything you want to say to the aspirants or to me?
No, sir, I just want to say thank you so much for whatever guidance you had given me, all the videos and all the sessions you had conducted that has really helped me. And would like to suggest all the aspirants also do follow SSB Bro. That is something that is going to help you really in a real manner. There's nothing that is something of like here. Nothing is something that this particular institute, or I can say it's a family. Here we are being completely truthful. If you are ready to dedicate, even sir is going to give is 100%. So be truthful to your preparation, be truthful to whatever hard work other people are being putting on you and you yourself is putting. So that's it, sir. And
Thank
thank you
you
so
very
much.
much. You're welcome. And any suggestions you have to improve our mentorship program? Anything I can change or implement other things in this so that it can get better?
No, so for now, I think it's going very smoothly, and this is how you should keep conducting and keep helping aspirants.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.